Hey everyone, coming to you today to talk about a little bit about servant leadership. I think this is an important topic to kind of address. I'll start by saying it addresses arrogance, which is just no place in leadership. So the starting of this is check your arrogance at the door. It's different than confidence. Confidence is based in solid skill sets and tangible results that you've been able to produce. And there's a confidence in knowing going forward. It's a confidence in your decision making ability because you've proven that capability. I'm not talking about confidence, I'm talking about arrogance, which is this selfish mindset that you're better, that you're more capable of anyone else in the organization. I've talked a little about, having every brain in the game. I've talked about all different kinds of things. You as the servant leader, or you as the leader, to be a servant leader, need to kind of flip the model, if you want to call it that, where most organizations are top down. Can consider them, look at them. You might flip the triangle and say that you work for the organization, you work for the employees, and what are you doing to ensure that they're successful? So, with that being said, I wanted to drive into a couple of things. Patrick Lencioni talks about in his five dysfunctions. He talks about vulnerability, vulnerable trust, as being the foundation for everything. This vulnerability, this transparency, this openness, this mindset is such a key value to the success of your organization. I really encourage you. Everything that our government today is not doing, I really encourage you, drive into vulnerable trust. It will enhance and explode your success. Vulnerability based trust is such an important aspect. It will drive the ability for you to get through the conflict that you are going to have. And then into the other elements that he mentions as well. That being said, I kind of wanted to dive into what servant leadership is not. And there's this mindset, especially in young leaders, that I need to be a friend. I need to come alongside my people and understand them, get to know them, and be their friend for the long haul, right? And that has about as much success as the same kind of mindset for a parent. If you've read my other book on specialisms, on raising, on parenting, using my son, my autistic son, as an example, this idea of being a friend is a conflict of interest to the accountability that you need to provide. And what's going to happen when you need to establish that accountability and all you've established is a friendship? It flies in the face of accountability, and it puts you in a really awkward and frustrating position, and it puts your employee or your kid in a very frustrating position because they looked at you differently. You are the leader. You're not a friend. And you can never put yourself in a position where a conflict of interest will expose itself. And it's exactly what friendship will do. It's the same thing in teaching them or treating them like a child. They're not. They're not your child. So while I did do that as an analogy, the way you treat your child is, as a parent, has an accountability level to it. And so what I'm saying is you can't be a friend to your employee, but you also cannot be a parent to your employee. They're not your child. You have to come, you're actually coming under them. You're serving them, but you're guiding them, you're helping them. The best answer to this is a mentor. So that's the driver. You're going to be a mentor to them. You can come alongside. You can be empathetic. You can understand where they are, but you absolutely cannot establish this relationship that drives a friendship or a parental child relationship, because that becomes a conflict of interest in how you need to lead your organization. And remember, you hired them to do a job. Nothing else matters in the end. If they're not doing the job, you have to hold them accountable to doing the job. You can come alongside them. You have the responsibility of the competency build, all of those things. But you, in the end, are their leader, and you need to hold them accountable to getting the job done that they're doing. Okay. You're also not a coach. Now, be careful here. There are opportunities to coach someone. For instance, when you're building a competency on the job, sometimes you're going to need to be that person. It's always better to get a third party to do your training and to do your coaching, to do your training, to do your skill set building and all of that kind of thing. But sometimes you're going to get in there and you're going to coach. The variance between a coach and a mentor is pretty thin, but I really want you to lean on the mentorship side. Coming alongside to support and engage, and then letting them do the job. Okay, you're not out there rah rah ring or anything like that. And that's not to say you're not going to celebrate, but there is a difference, and you need to understand and know and move that forward. And then finally, you're also not a counselor. Okay, again, your conflict of interest will fail if you put yourself in a therapeutic, ministerial kind of mindset, pastoral kind of mindset, whatever it is, okay? Because if you get in that position, you're not going to be able to hold them accountable to the job that they need to do. You're going to end up, and they are going to be, not just feel, but be entitled to that empathetic mindset, or should I say that therapeutic mindset, because you've established that level of a relationship. And that's a dangerous place to be, because you won't be able to hold them accountable to the job that they need to do. So in the end, be a mentor, okay? And you come alongside them to mentor, you come under them to support them and to lead them, meaning that you're serving them. When they need help, you come along and you help them. But you're not stepping in, you're not controlling the scenario, you're empowering them and then coming in underneath them. All right. So hopefully that clarifies. It's a little bit of a touchy, I don't want to say touchy, but a fine line subject. But in the end, just remember the conflicts of interest will win if you're not stepping up to be the leader. And that conflict of interest is what needs to happen when you have to hold them accountable. And what needs to happen, you need to empower today so that when it needs to happen, it can happen. All right. Talk to you later. Have a great day.